To make magic happen, I think the idea is you can't make it happen, right? You have to be at the right time, the right place. So I always consider part of it is luck. Can you have good luck, right? But luck, in my mind, sometimes is when preparation meets opportunity. Can you make your own luck? To a certain degree, I believe you can.
Introducing Mark Estey, a celebrity chef in the making, and Reno, Nevada, a town in the midst of an effervescent cultural revolution. Watch both as they rise together. This is The Chef and the City. Brought to you by Whitney Peak Hotel. Stay in casual luxury and boutique style in downtown Reno's first non-gaming, non-smoking, independent hotel. Arguably the flagship of Mark Estey's considerable fleet of dining establishments, Campo changed Reno's food scene the moment it opened its doors.
Campo here is a special place in my heart here. This is where, in my mind, it kind of all began for us. We had, in 2002, I opened my first restaurant. I was 31 years old. We opened up in Truckee. Although we didn't bankrupt it officially, we kind of quietly closed it. But in 2010, I set my eyes on Reno, and I fell in love with this place. I walked in here and it was empty. It was empty for 7 years. And I believe that they were saving it for me. I really do. And when I walked through the doors, I was like, I want to do a restaurant here. I want to do Campo here. I want it to have wood tabletops. I want it to be pizza. I want it to be pasta. I want it to be affordable. I want it to be neighborhood. I want it to be Italian. I want it to be loud and just like me.
Concurrent with the meteoric rise of Chef Mark Estey has been the astonishing ascent of Reno itself.
A lot of the people around the country have this odd impression of Reno. What do they always say, the ugly stepsister of Las Vegas? Yeah, it kind of has been those places. It's not just an old gambling town anymore. This is a town which has beginning to find its identity. It's looking around itself and saying, gosh, what great weather we have here. Look at the scenery here. There's Tahoe over there. So many wonderful things happening here. Gaming is going to be around here for a long, long time to come. And it's still part of the Reno culture, but they're coming here for other things now too.
I moved to Sacramento for a job in 2008, returning to Reno in 2013. And I was absolutely knocked out at the improvements I saw in the city. Visually, cleanliness, arts burgeoning everywhere. This is such an exciting time to be in Reno. There's so much happening here now.
Well, I think there's momentum, and when there's momentum, things happen. When you've got one person trying to do something, but when you've got a whole group of people moving their piece forward on the same trajectory in the best interest of the community, the residents, and the city itself, how can it fail when you've got that kind of movement?
Sponsored by Morilado's Lakeshore Resort. Relax, enjoy, and cherish the shoreline in beautiful North Lake Tahoe. Nevada Home Connections. Reno may be the hottest real estate market in the nation. Nevada Home Connections will help you make all the right moves. NevadaHomeConnections.com. Producers of The Chef and the City can promise an exemplary dining experience when you visit the following recommended restaurants. Liberty Food and Wine Exchange. The latest from celebrity chef Mark Estey, Liberty brings the community together in this artisan food and wine bar in downtown Reno. Also, a boutique market for special food items and great wine, as well as a butcher shop. LibertyFoodandWine.com. Roundabout Grill. Renowned chef Colin Smith brings his brand of inspired American cuisine to Roundabout Grill, located inside the Whitney Peak Hotel in downtown Reno. Roundabout Grill makes comfort food great again. Just voted among Reno's top 10 in USA Today. Visit roundaboutgrill.com for details. Wild River Grill. Chosen as Reno's best restaurant in Reno Magazine and located on the Riverwalk in downtown Reno. Wild River Grill is a contemporary restaurant with nature-inspired influences, a full bar, and expansive riverside patio, featuring both traditional and innovative cuisine, and a bar preparing handcrafted cocktails featuring fresh squeezed juices and liquor infusions. WildRiverGrill.com. Stonehouse Cafe. Located in a historic stone craftsman bungalow, the Stonehouse is a unique and delightful restaurant with Mediterranean influences from the legendary Aboud family. With 3 dining rooms retaining the bungalow charm and outside a beautiful European cafe-style patio. always aiming to be more creative than the next restaurant. StonehouseCafeReno.com. Equal parts chef, host, and businessman. It's the requisite recipe for a happy and successful restaurateur.
I came down here as kind of a rebirth of myself and to come into this spot to do something. And I thought, small restaurant, just me, one manager in the front, one chef, and we open the doors and blows up. I mean, you know, double the projections the first 6 months, and you know, we were off to the races, if you will. It was a long, arduous process to get to this point, but this is where I started putting those procedures and those systems in place that I didn't do in my younger part of my career. I really wanted to run things by the numbers here, not changing quality at all, but I wanted to come down here, the farmers, the ranchers, and doing things with systems in place and doing things by the numbers themselves, and that kind of helps steer our business decisions that we made down here. When we first identified this location and I went to first raise the money, I looked at the restaurant, calling the restaurant Faro, F-A-R-R-O. A few things, no one can say it, no one can spell it, no one knows what it is. When I tell them that, hey, Faro, it's an ancient grain spelt, they say, what the is that, right? So they don't know what it is then either when you explain it to them. So we kind of fell back to the name Campo. Campo came from a trip that I took to Italy, and we were traveling all around and we hit a few different places. And in Siena, there was the Campo di Siena. And that kind of name kind of stuck with us. And we looked up Campo, and Campo means a gathering place, right? Loosely translated. And we thought that's the perfect name. Campo is the perfect name for this restaurant, which is a gathering place, a neighborhood gathering space. We borrow like the Italian grandmother's rustic cuisine approach to what we do. So we're using all local ingredients. We're using all ingredients that are in season. We're using every part of the ingredient, right? So it's grandmother's cooking, but we kind of have that set in a fun neighborhood experience. So we're not Italian true to the word. Now we are true in our pizzas. Our pizzas are VPN, Vetta Pizza Napoletano. So our pizza follows the Naples designation. We've been approved, I've been trained. I've had a few trips to Italy. We are a designated Italian pizza place. So it follows the Naples style and tradition. So we rely on some things traditional, then we rely on our interpretation of Italian cuisine to make our dishes. I use the word rustic, simple, seasonal, local, fresh. Some people say that it's not simple and it's really hard for them to recreate at home, but that's part of the allure, right? For us sometimes in a restaurant, keeping things really simple is actually harder than making things really complicated and kind of overdoing it.
If you were here 20 years ago, you would see a river that nobody could walk. You'd see maybe a really questionable, sketchy sort of part of town. Now, what you see is culture. And not just any culture we borrowed from other cities. You see Reno's culture. Probably 45 different restaurants and bars where even 10 years ago we had 6 or 7. Phenomenal museums, entertainment, music on the streets, arts, vendors. Sometimes we wonder, do we really want to share that with the rest of the world? But I think we do. I think it's fun here.
In the heart of burgeoning Midtown, Soup is another Reno hotspot.
It's like the synergy that's coming around, and it's just like, we're just a small piece of that puzzle. When now you've got 4th Street burgeoning as like a brewery and distillery district, and you've got downtown that's kind of developing themselves from a casino district, and now they've got, you know, boutique hotels, and they have little districts of their own with a Riverwalk that's been there forever and amazing. And now you have Tesla coming in and all of these other industries. I was born and raised in Reno, and I've never seen it so exciting.
So much energy here. Even 11, 12 years ago, when we came here, it just felt like there was something right on the verge of happening. And we're finally seeing that come to fruition.
And the real tipping point was when Mark was recognized by Esquire magazine as one of the best new restaurants in America for Campo. And when that happened, suddenly people in Washington, D.C. and Boston and Chicago and Houston were saying, Reno? Reno makes the top 10 list? How is that possible? And since then, as he's developed his empire and other restaurateurs and brew pubs have started to pop up here, we really have a claim to great food and beverage.
Sponsored by the Nevada Museum of Art, Nevada's only accredited art museum. North Lake Tahoe. And the Economic Development Authority of Western Nevada. The biggest little city is now welcoming talent. Producers of The Chef and the City can promise an exemplary dining experience when you visit the following recommended restaurants. Cafe at Adele's. Located in a beautifully restored 1864 Victorian home and helmed by 4th generation and award-winning chef Charlie Abel, Adele's has been named among the top restaurants in the country. A visit to Adele's in Carson City is always a special experience. Information and reservations at adelsrestaurantandlounge.com. Soup. Creating healthy, fresh soups, salads, and sandwiches in Midtown Reno, with a focus on healthy, homemade recipes made from scratch daily. Consistency and courtesy are always their goal at Soup. Information or to-go orders at stockpotinc.com. Zozo's Ristorante. Enjoy fine Italian-American dining and a glimpse of old world Italy at a little place called Zozo's. Owners Sid and Judy Ashton invite you to come on down for an authentic taste of old world ambiance. Family style, classic Italian dining, complete with red and white checkered tablecloths. zozosreno.com. Chez Louis. This French-inspired eatery is filled with light and delicious aromas as you enter the ground floor of Reno's Nevada Museum of Art. Owner Mark Estey provides a fun, modern, and affordable dining experience, while executive chef Johnny McCabe delivers high-class cuisine in a truly unique setting and claims the best weekend brunch in town. Visit chez-louis.com. Hey foodies, mark your calendar for 2 great culinary events in South Lake Tahoe. The annual Tahoe South Restaurant Week returns mid-September, sharing the burgeoning culinary scene on Tahoe's South Shore. Participating restaurants will feature locally sourced, creative, and delicious pairings and specials. Visit tahosouth.com/restaurant week for details. September also brings back Lake Tahoe's largest Farm to Fork festival, Sample of the Sierra. The festival takes place in South Lake Tahoe's Bijou Community Park South and celebrates the best food, wine, beer, and spirits the Sierra Nevada region has to offer. Taste dozens of samples created with locally sourced produce. Shop the festival marketplace featuring handmade goods and witness the annual Sierra Chefs Challenge. Visit sampleofthesierra.com to purchase your tickets.
Here we are on the line at Campo. Crew's hard at work right here. Our chef Tommy's behind us. And I'm just gonna show you some of the things we were talking about making pasta. I'm gonna heat up my pan. And as I heat up the pan, I'm gonna show you some of the fresh pasta that we make next door. This is our rigatoni. So we take a nice handful of rigatoni here. This gets made every day. It comes over on sheet trays. We slap it in our little container here. Here's our rigatoni. We have 12 burners on the line. I'm gonna bring this down to the pasta machine. Pasta machine just means fancy word for boiling water that cleans itself every few minutes. You know, you spend all day, all morning making a bolognese, right? So our bolognese is a ground beef that comes over from Reno Provisions. It comes over here. You know, maybe the butcher over there says, hey, I got a little of this, I got a little of that. He sends it over. These guys take it in the morning. They turn around and create a dish. And that's kind of that grandma's cooking. Using we're not calling, hey, give me 20 pounds of this. They send over what we have and that's what we make. That's the yin and the yang. That's the give and the take between when you're your own supply chain. I have a hot pan here. Little oil in the pan right here, and then we're gonna put in the bolognese, okay? And I'll put that right back on the stove. Always put a little pinch of salt, a little pinch of pepper. So it just kind of heats up like that. This is how a restaurant can keep up with it. You know, so this is kind of a little behind the scenes. So there's the pasta cooked. The water goes in. So that water has a lot of starch in it from the pastas, right? It really helps kind of round out the dish. And this pasta is super al dente, okay? Al dente means to the tooth, it's toothsome. That's really perfect. Now, we leave it a little under because we don't just put that in here and put the sauce over it and send it out. What we do is we cook it here in the sugo a little bit, or in the bolognese, okay? That helps kind of round that sauce out a little bit. Now another thing too, what's the least expensive ingredient out there? Water. Water is the least expensive ingredient that you can use. So using that water helps round out that sauce, helps with cost, helps with a lot of different reasons. So it adds flavor, it adds body, it adds texture, and it helps round out the sauce. So we always need to taste our food, whatever we're cooking. That's ready to go. One of the things we like to do a lot as we're getting ready to go, throw a little olive oil on, a little bit of guarana in the dish. Then we kind of turn it around over to here, steal Tommy's bowl. And then those little touch at the end when it's ready, and then a little bit more cheese on top. Look at that steam coming off there, right? Simple, satisfying, delicious, local, something I could eat 5, 6, 7 nights a week. My son Enzo, all he wants is pasta. Daddy's pasta, daddy's pasta. So that's a really simple way to do it. And you can take those things and do them at home also.
Very special thanks to our sponsors, Whitney Peak Hotel, Moreloto's Lakeshore Resort, Nevada Home Connections, the Nevada Museum of Art, North Lake Tahoe, and the Economic Development Authority of Western Nevada. Email questions or comments to madmulliganproductions@gmail.com.